This episode of Finding Demo Surf Fishing is being brought to you by the Kids Can Fish Foundation. kidscanfish.net. Take a look at the website. Lots of cool things that they're doing. And this episode, we're going to be talking with, Tom. We're going to go through the whole thing. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about. And the tournament's coming up. It's in October. I can't wait to be there personally. You guys know I love going. My kids are going to be with me. A bunch of friends are going to be around. So it's going to be a really good time. And you want to stick around for that. So let's get into it, shall we? You're listening to Finding Demo Surf Fishing. Here we go. New week, new episode. Hope you're doing well wherever you are. Things are going well for you. It's always the big hope I have for you, really. You all know that. Oh, man, the fishing has been pretty good. Actually, it's been okay. It hasn't been amazing. Summer's rude. But we're going to be going on the digital bus. We're heading over to Georgia. Going over to St. Simon's Island. Yep, we're talking with Kids Can Fish today. We're talking all about the tournament and a lot about the foundation again, because there's a lot of new things that happen. And this year, I got really lucky. They came over here to the Panhandle. We did a small event, and it went very well. I thought it was great. We had a lot of fun with it. And the kids walked away with gear and smiles, and it was just perfect. That's the best way I could say it. It was perfect. So without further ado, Tom, let's get you on here, man. How are you?
Doing well, Brian. Thanks for having me back, man.
Well, anytime. You're always welcome on the show. So we got some fun stuff coming, man. I mean, you got a whole bunch of new changes this year. We got some more real estate to use. We've got there's just a lot of fun that's going to be changing. So the floor is yours, man. What you got?
Yeah, pretty excited. I guess we'll start off talking a little bit about the tournament, and then maybe on the back end talk about the foundation and tell people how important these tournament dollars are to us and what we do with those funds that are raised.
Sounds good, man.
So the biggest change is that instead of just having St. Simon's Island, which was like 2.3 miles of beach, we were able to secure Jekyll Island, which is the neighboring island. You look right across from St. Simon's and you can see it. The St. Simon's Pass divides it. And we've gained over 8 miles of sand to fish. So we're advertising we have 10 miles of sand, which is absolutely incredible and should change that dynamic quite a bit.
Oh, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of different pieces there, and the locals, you guys know, there's a whole lot more to play with there, and you could spread out and you can play the game in over 2 days. Oh man, it's going to be dynamic. Now you have to work your game a little bit more on some pre-fish hunting.
Yeah, so the dynamic is exactly right. So St. Simon's, right off the front side of the beach, you don't have a whole lot of different topography or structure, so to speak, to fish. Jekyll adds some significant changes. So you can fish spots that are ripping current. You can fish front side that's very similar to St. Simon's. We have a backside area that is got a deep ledge on it. It's going to have some moving water, a little creek that comes out and feeds into it, and then obviously the point of Jekyll, which is a thoroughfare and highway for the redfish. So do your research, because the dynamic has changed quite a bit, and it's going to be pretty exciting.
I love that this year you were able to do that, because I know that was one thing people had mentioned quite a bit in the post tournament discussion. You heard the grumblings, and people were like, "I wish we had more room." We need to spread out a little more, and other people were like, "Hey, it's fine the way it is." The only thing that we all hope that we don't have again is the Sunday cold snap in the morning where we were all, "I'm sorry, where did winter come from?"
Right. I guess part of me, the challenge of thinking about how to effectively run a tournament and keep people happy is just the acceptance level that this is a surf tournament, and there are going to be areas that are going to be crowded for sure. But this changes it significantly. We went last year to having 270 anglers, to include 70 of those being kids under 15 years and under, to potentially being able to open this up to, my goal is 350. If we get any more than 350, we exceed our goal. To being able to stretch our legs out a little bit and maybe look to the right or left of you and not see somebody within 30 or 40 feet. It's going to be pretty interesting. Really looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely will be. And you're still going to do the same thing that you've been doing the last few years. You're going to have the kids with you. You're going to have a host of kids that are joining you. You're going to have gear out there for them and a whole stack up.
Yeah, every year the Kids Can't Fish Foundation hosts and sponsors a handful of kids, and we're going to do that again. Honestly, last year with Wyatt winning the youth division with me, that is a top 5 fishing memory for me ever. The fact that I was out casting a line and I look back and Caroline and Wyatt are fighting a redfish together, and Caroline's kind of holding them around the waist and making sure that the drag set is just, it's a win all around. Like that was a memory for me that just going to stick out with some of my better ones for sure. And our crew took home the youth championship, which is the first year. We've never done that before. So, and even more so, Wyatt's never caught a fish that big. It was his first bull redfish and the biggest fish he's ever caught, which just adds to the special and the magic of that experience. So kind of cool.
Yeah. You couldn't ask for a better Cinderella story with that. It was perfect. Everything about it was perfect, man. Super win.
And I will tell people, be warned, Wyatt is coming back to defend that title. So Wyatt will be back on the sand with us. So we can see maybe he'll go back to back. That would be something. That
would be pretty cool. Yeah, back to backs are never sad. Those are good ones. We also have who is it? Oh, damn it. I forgot his name. We had some other people coming from out of town. They won the biggest. And then my king of the smalls went to another gentleman that drove in, and his small was a huge small. I mean, it was, right. Good God. He was, 38, 40 inches, I think. He had a good one. He had a real good red. But there's going to be all the categories. Alabama Wood Burning's coming back in with this one for some cool trophies again. I've heard about that. And this year, though, the measuring's going to be a little different. Is that correct?
It is going to be a little different. So Kendall Bordelin, who won the King of the Smalls last year, he actually registered today. He's coming back. And Josh Belbot and crew, I believe they come from that Savannah area. I'm not sure if they signed up yet, but yeah, an out-of-towner won the big fish and the King of the Smalls. So just because you're coming from out of town doesn't mean that you don't you have a disadvantage. A lot of people that come from out of town do cash out in place. So we've had people come from as far as Washington State, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Group from West Virginia, got a family, the Frame family from West Virginia. They're coming back. So it's pretty cool to see who we're connecting with and who are seeing what we do and support what we do from different areas of the country, which is amazing.
Yeah, and you guys are doing so many great things with that too. I love seeing the evolution and the growth and but you're not changing who you guys are. Yeah, you're growing. Yeah, things are moving along nicely, but the mission is still the same and it hasn't changed.
Oh, thank you. That's important to us, and I think it's important to keep an eye on that and maintain that same position and stance because it works. And we have a mantra that we live by, and we're not going to change from this. And it's under promise and over deliver on what we do, and it seems to be working.
I bet. Little sidebar. You guys did iCast again this year, and I saw Caroline out there just netting people, nailing them, just lobbing that cast net and showing how it's done. How was iCast?
iCast was great. It's funny because this is our 4th year going to iCast, so I'll never forget year 1. Just walking into that place was kind of it had some shock and awe to it. Now we're in the flow. We walk up to booths, people recognize the logo, and we kind of get to work the show more on a professional level than maybe we did the first 2 years because we don't have to do this is who we are talk. Like we come into people's booths and are like, oh, your kids can't fish and you're Caroline. And we get to talk more about kind of our mission and how we're impacting kids versus trying to actually sell our program or sell, the impact we're making, which is really nice. And Pro Marinahi, who sponsor Caroline and the Kids Can't Fish Foundation with the cast nets, they bring us to iCast every year. A huge thank you to them. And then Team Rain Shadow, Batson Enterprises, had Caroline in their booth each day talking about the custom rods that she fishes with. So without companies like that giving us the opportunity to attend ICAST as actual guests in their booth, those kind of things would never happen. So those two companies are just phenomenal.
Yeah, you guys have been doing great things, and I mean, to have you on the team, I'm sure is a huge, huge win for all considered, because it's, again, you're doing so many great things for the community. It's a no-brainer right there to tag in. So with the ICAST run, that one's all knocked out. You guys got all set up for the year. Some new stuff is coming. What else is going on?
Yeah, so we'll go back to the kind of leading question was our platform for the tournament is going to go to a catch, photo video release platform, gaining 8 miles of beach. There's just no way possible that we can get enough volunteers to make that work. So you have a guaranteed live judge seeing your catch. That was my biggest fear in the last 3 years, is that somebody was going to catch a fish and not have a judge present. So we teamed up with Rapala, and we're going to use the 60-inch Magnum folding ruler, and it will very much go to like a go live style format. The angler will video their catch on the bump board. They'll do a 360 kind of circle around their fishing area. And as soon as they post it up on the tournament Facebook group is when that catch will actually be officially logged. And then we have what we call an angler tournament angler review board. So if there's any questions or disparity or anybody challenging a finding, it's going to go to a 5-member group external of Kids Can Fish, and they'll make a final determination. So if there's a discrepancy on a length, the board will make a decision on the length. And if there's a question about the number of spots, they'll make the final determination. And if one of the tournament angler reviewed board members logs a fish, and we'll take them out so there's no bias. They will no longer be part of the board, and it'll be 5 people that have an unbiased opinion on that catch, so that there's no conflict of interest.
Nice, man. Way to set up the boundaries right there to keep showing it on the right way. That's good stuff.
And don't get me wrong, I'm a little scared about this catch photo release thing, but the tournament rules, the longer rules list that every angler will be presented with, have pretty much a zero tolerance kind of statement in there, is that if there's any speculation of wrongdoing or even the chance that somebody would cheat, which is going to be pretty hard because we're going to have day 1 and day 2 special codes or something that we're going to give every angler. So when they do the video, it's going to be extremely difficult to video a catch that didn't happen during the tournament. But we're doing this tournament for charity. It's there's live money and there's big prizes at stake, but people got to see the bigger picture of why we're doing this, and it's for a charity and because people believe in what we're doing. So we don't intend to have any of those problems, but if we do, we're ready to take action and stand a firm ground on why we do this and keeping that honest integrity in place.
Excellent. Excellent on all sides there. We did have every tournament you go to, it doesn't matter. There's always going to be questions, comments, concerns, bitches, moans, complaints. There's always going to be something, and there's always going to be 1 or 2 turmoil in the end. There's nothing you can do about that. But, your tournament, I've heard the minimum amount of grumblings out of anyone that I've finished. So, again, just come out there and fish and have fun. Remember what it's for. Jeez, it's just a good time.
Where we hear more grumblings than anything is we kind of we spice things up throughout the day. So we'll do the first person to catch a fish wins X prize, or the first lady angler will get a prize. The first kid to catch a fish will get a prize. The midday grind, I kind of like the midday grind contest. Last year it was the first fish after 12:30, when the sun's baking and the tide's not right, won a bull bay rod. And there were a couple people that had very close catches, and unfortunately it's when the judge has their paper log back in the day, they would write the time when they time stamped it, and the judge's findings were final. So some of the bigger questions we had were like the the daily free giveaways that we do. And we're going to do that again this year. I just think it's a good way to reward anglers that maybe aren't going to cash out in the top 7 to go home with a pretty cool prize. So we're going to keep doing those things. But honestly, those are the areas that kind of brought up more questions than the top 7 anglers was the random day of prizes that we do. We had to navigate that a little bit last year.
Yeah, I can see how that one would happen. And not to mention with those daily prizes, there's also so many great auction items. It's unbelievable on pre-fish day at the party on Friday, and then before the tournament, where before the announcing of the winners and all that, you got the tables all set up. There's more things to silent bid on and do drawings for. There's so many things that you can win and go home with. And again, all of that stuff that you buy into, it goes into the charity. It goes into Kids Can Fish. It's not, anything else. It's nothing nefarious. It's just right back into the foundation. So that's huge. And you guys have put on so many great ones, and I can only imagine this year what you've got up your sleeve.
I'm actually in the room in my house that's housing some of the tournament stuff, and it's amazing. I guess it's hard to even say this, but the things we have this year for raffle prizes and giveaways are by far better than what you've ever seen before. It's incredible when people will send over a product for a donation for a raffle table, and they do it because they believe in what we're doing. And most importantly, they believe in getting kids outdoors, and they believe giving kids experiences related to fishing, because that's what we all love, and they find importance in sharing that with kids. And without those companies doing that, our raffle tables wouldn't be what they are. And I honestly think our raffle tables are unmatched. I've fished in tournaments, and what we have is pretty spectacular.
Oh, I could fully attest to that. After coming home with a couple of those buckets, I was pretty happy when I won a few of them. And then I got outbid this year. Last year, actually, I got outbid very handedly. Some of y'all were underhanded nastiness. You got me good, you guys. You got me real good. But it was important because I loved seeing how all of that went back in, and it was like, okay, this is all wins. Everybody's winning. Speaking of that, this year we're all coming out there, and then Friday you're going to have the captain's meeting and the pre-party and all the gathering. But you're doing a different location this year. Is that correct?
Yeah, we outgrew our old location, which was great. The Port City Park was great, but directly behind Port City Park, so same area, literally just across the alleyway, is a place called the Queen and Grant, and it is a very, very nice wedding venue. We've probably tripled our space, indoor, outdoor space, multiple bathrooms, ability for food trucks. We went all in, invested a little bit more on renting that space out, and I think it's going to be another one of those things that as soon as people see the Queen and Grant, they're going to say, don't change it, stay there every year, because it's high end. It's very, very nice. And for us to invest into the Friday night welcome party venue is just a way of thanking our anglers that attend, to have a very, very nice Friday night social gathering. So we're really excited about the Queen and Grant.
That's going to be so good. And then on tournament day, or on weigh-in day and finish, where is this year's final going to be?
Yeah, we're going back to Village Creek Landing, which is where we hosted it last year for the first time, and it was a resounding, everybody said go back to the Village Creek Landing. So we're going back there again. Another venue. That one's on the water, on the marsh. It's absolutely beautiful, and no problem with hosting the number of people that we're going to have. So we're going back to the Village Creek Landing Sunday. Both of those events are from 6 p.m. until 10 p.m.
Perfect. So right there, we've got Friday, show up, enjoy. Saturday, actually, let's talk about that. So let's talk about the flow of the tournament, because I know that the way you run it is actually one of my favorite ways, because you make it family oriented. So let's talk about Saturday and Sunday. What's the current plan of action for the fishing the tournament itself?
Yeah, so we actually, with us eliminating the live judges, we're able to open up the fishing hours longer. So you're going to be able to cast at 7 a.m. And on day one, on Saturday the 12th, lines will be in at 6:30 at night. That way we can come back, get on the computers, go through all the log catches, and actually come out with the final day one standings. I'm hoping and guessing somewhere around 8 o'clock at night, because I only anticipate with adding Jekyll, we're just going to have so many more fish to log in. And then Sunday will be the same. We'll start at 7 a.m. and we end at 3:30 because that awards banquet starts at 6. So give people a chance to go back to wherever they're lodging, shower up, change, and get over to the awards venue and enjoy that evening.
Perfect. And while you all are staying out there, don't forget there's a lot of really great local mom and pop places to eat, and the small businesses out there thrive, and they are beautiful. You got so much good food and so many great venues to go out and see, and even sightseeing. But granted, you're gonna be fishing more than you're gonna be sightseeing, but there is so many great pieces to do. And I know you guys have put out before where some restaurants are and some other venues of eating. Now with gaining this whole new area, what you're going to have some new challenges with that, aren't you?
Yeah, I think in a good way though. St. Simon's is what it is. It caters to a large tourist group. The amount of restaurants and establishments on St. Simon's are vast. Jekyll is, my local opinion, it's a more quiet island. It's a little more old-fashioned. It does have hotels. It does have an entertainment district, but it's not going to have the number of bars and restaurants. Don't get me wrong, there are several very good restaurants and bars and establishments, but Jekyll's going to offer a campground for people that want to bring RVs in, Airbnbs and hotels right on the beach. That's the big difference with Jekyll. Is there's several hotels, and we're not cooperating with any hotels. We don't have room blocks because there's just so many that you can stay at a hotel on Jekyll and walk right out the back and be on the beach in your fishing zone, which is a huge plus, because there's only one hotel on St. Simon's that's on the beach, and that's one of the downfalls. St. Simon's has more houses on the beach. Jekyll has more hotels.
Yeah, see, perfect right there. I already learned something from this trip. Now I'm like, okay, where am I going this year? I got to formulate my plan. I got a whole lot of fun stuff I got to figure out still, because hell, I got to drive out on Thursday or Friday morning to come see you.
The thing that we do have to, and I think will naturally take care of itself, is for this system to work, we have to have an equal balance. We have to have people fishing Jekyll, because if we're going to crest 350 or maybe even close to 400 anglers, we just can't sustain that many people on St. Simon's. Although this year the tournament zone on St. Simon's is all the way from Gould's Inlet from the rocks all the way down to the south. There's not that middle zone that we blocked out. So we did add space on St. Simon's as well. So St. Simon's will be a popular place, but I really do encourage people to do their homework and find that Jekyll area that caters to your needs. Personally, I've already told our group we're probably going to fish Jekyll on Saturday, and then I need to be on St. Simon's on Sunday because I need to be at the awards banquet venue early to get set up. So we're going to do a split, and that's kind of an interesting thing. Is on day one, if you see that fishing is a little more interesting on Jekyll, on day two, go over to Jekyll. From St. Simon's over to Jekyll, you're talking, a 20-ish minute ride. It's not far. You have to leave the island, go over the causeway, on Highway 17 for a short clip, and then you're right on Jekyll. It's an easy trip.
That's perfect. Everyone, remember, don't forget to be stuck in the group during the tournament, because if you're not hitting there, like we always say, something's got to change. Maybe you got to move. Maybe you got to change your bait. And there's going to be a lot of that good stuff going on. Because, the tackle shops have always been helpful. They've always been ready to go. I remember last year that they all were standing by waiting for the people to come in, get the bait out to get everybody set up. I know Fish Bites is there. They got all their stuff the day at the Friday night. They'll be out there with their bait and their stuff on standby. Let's see here. What else was there about? Still the same thing. It's still going to be Huck and Chuck, 2 rods per person, and no lures. It's just soaking, bait and soak, right?
Yeah, so 2 rods per person. One of the more common questions is, can I put a whiting rig out to catch fresh whiting? Absolutely. But if you're going to do that, you got to surrender one of your tournament rods. So it's 2 rods per person. As long as you're on the sand, we don't put a specific on how you catch your redfish. So if you want to throw a top water plug out there and catch a red without cut or live bait, you can do that. I don't know if anybody does, but as long as your feet are in the sand in our tournament zones, you're good to go.
Oh, yeah. Normally for us, the last 2 years, the current and the wind would definitely have prevented that. You would have been raking lines in.
Right. I'm fishing on the bottom with cut mullet or crab. And I should add this because I've seen this over the past couple years. There's people that think ball weight or egg weight is the right thing to use on the surf. It's not. If there's one tip that I think somebody should take as gospel from the tournament director is buy yourself some synchronized Sputniks and fish with Sputniks. I'm going to fish with no less than 5 ounces, and I do have 6 and 7s lying in weight if I need them. I like to stick more than a lot of guys with the weight will go as light as they can. I know in the Pompano, I fish and I try to go as light as I can with the weight. With these bull reds, I like to get my bait out there and I want it stuck on the bottom. So I stay minimally at 5, and I'm prepared to go up to 7 if I need to, which is a lot of weight.
It is, but it's useful there because that one day you could have light current, the next day, oh man, it can be ripping when that tide moves, especially in that channel.
Yeah, we're gonna have 7 foot of tide swing, so not as bad as the first year you attended, Brian. I think we had like an 8-1 tide. We're gonna be in that low 7s, which is manageable. I mean, I fish 7s all the time, and it's not a big deal. I'm a believer that those big bull reds like that moving water. It gets them active. I think the bite's better on a bigger tide. But you need to be prepared with the right gear. I get that question all the time, and I tell people, find a vendor that makes a bull redfish rig, buy a good weight, and please use circle hooks. Like these fish are so important to our resource and so important to the spawning that's taking place that we have to make sure these fish swim off, and a circle hook is just really important to encourage that safe release of that fish. So
yeah, everything I've seen from the last couple years, though, everyone's done a great job taking care of them. They really have. It's been pretty good.
Yeah, I've had no report of a floater, which is great. When I fish, I pre-fish the beach quite a bit through September, and you'll see a handful of reds wash up on the surf. And I mean, I love these fish. I'm a redfish junkie, and it just kills me every time I see one that's floated up on the sand. But to the best of my knowledge, in our tournament, there's been no reports of a floater, which I think is phenomenal. We've got to keep it that way.
Yeah, I believe it'll be good. I got a side interject with you on this same thing when it comes to gear. For the last 2 years, I have brought my card out there, brought my flag. I'll, of course, because you guys will find me that way. No problem. You're welcome. I love seeing you. Bring an umbrella and sunscreen and comfortable shoes. If you are not used to hard sand, that sand is concrete. Take it from this guy who is medium extra husky. It wears on you. So bring some comfortable footwear.
Brian, you know what? It goes both ways though, because when we were in Pensacola in March, your soft sugar sand ain't no joke either to push a car through. So it goes both ways. It wasn't my feet and my ankles in Pensacola. My thighs and my my quads were on fire at the end of that day. But yeah, comfortable footwear. It's hard packed sand. Our sun in October, it's going to be beautiful. Hopefully, that good 80-degree sun and air, and then the water temp should still be in that upper 70s, low 80s. You can get roasted out there with the sun, so definitely plan according for your personal gear.
It makes a difference. And I do recommend this year packing one set of winter clothing just in case we get a sun day again like we did. AJ hasn't let me forget that at all.
I wore waders on day 2. And when I looked at the report Saturday night, I was like, you know what, I'm going to bring these just in case. And I walked out on the sand, lugging out the cart for the kids, and those waders were on, and I was so thankful I had them.
I bet. Yeah, as Panhandle boys, we were, boy, was there some sadness. It was good talks, though. It made it for, I go back to the military with this. Some of the craziest and worst things that happen, or the times where the suck is the most, is where the best memories and some of the funniest things come out of it that you remember even longer.
But what was crazy is Saturday was probably one of the nicest days of the month of October. The beach was packed. It was beautiful. It was mid-80s, not a cloud in the sky. And then, bam, Saturday we dropped about 20 degrees. It was a little more windy, but the afternoon was quite nice. The afternoon was nice, but the morning was a little rough.
Yeah, she took her time to warm up, that's for sure. And don't forget, people, though it is a bull red tournament, there are some other cool things that have happened. So for the last 2 years, a Pompano record has been caught. I've heard of a triple tail being caught from the beach. What else did we have? We had a couple other weird catches last year. What was the other one?
Somebody caught a sheep's head last year.
That's right. It was like, where did this come from?
Which I've never done on our beach. Honestly, a surf sheep's head is something that's on my list because it just fascinates me. I fish sheep's head a lot on structure. I've never caught one in our surf, but I also don't out there targeting them. Somebody caught an octopus in a piece of driftwood. That was kind of cool. But the triple tails, don't get me wrong. For our species of fish inshore, the triple tail is the best eating fish in the Golden Isles. And the ones that have been caught, there have been 3 caught from the surf on our tournament, were all monsters, like big triple tails, which is pretty odd for the front side of St. Simons. But I will say this, the front side of Jekyll is where the locals fish triple tail. It wouldn't surprise me if we see more triple tail in Pompano. And don't be surprised if the Old Kids Can't Fish Foundation does you win something special with one of those bonus catches.
Nice. See, so there you go, everybody. There's another reason, though the bull red rigs work. I will be the first one to also admit to this. One of my rods is always bull red. My other one is a double drop. I caught my awesome red on a double drop. That's right. I'm going for another 13-incher. I don't want the monster, man. I don't want the number one. I want the baby. I want the little guy. That was just, I want that. I shouldn't, but I do.
The baby bull, unfortunately, the year you won it, we didn't have the awesome trophy, right?
Yeah, it's still we made it work. We made it work.
You kind of set the tone for the king of the smalls, the king or queen of the smalls. But the Alabama Burning Trophy is amazing. Those are actually going to be sent to us here shortly. And then we always make that baby bull award something pretty cool. I'm going to wait until we get everything compiled to figure out what that is. But yeah, the baby bull is probably one of the more fun awards that we give out. And then obviously, the king or queen of the smalls from the year before relinquishes the throne to the new winner. So we'll see what happens this year.
It's so funny how that all came about. It's so perfect. It just made it even better. Okay, so we talked about the tournament. We got that all lined up. You got a lot more going on with that, and you wanted to talk a little bit about the foundation. So, and if you guys haven't listened to these shows before, we've talked quite a few times, a lot of great things, but as that is also, the time has changed. Lots of great things have happened and new things have come. So let's go ahead and break back into that. Let's talk about Kids Can Fish and tell us about it.
Yeah, let me just go over our list of sponsors because these are done. And just give you some of the names that are supporting us, and then I'll jump right into the camps. And these are in no particular order. We have Cornerstone First Mortgage. Leighton Johnson is back again as the title sponsor. He's changed companies. So Cornerstone First Mortgage is our title sponsor. Halyards Restaurant, which is one of the great restaurants in St. Simons, is back again for a 4th year. Shoreline Marine, Rich's Products, Phillips Wealth Management, Strike Zone Bowling, Ag Pro, one of my favorite companies, 4 Horsemen Tackle, Cherokee Brick. This one's pretty sweet. Caught me by surprise. Young Boats came in this year. Kona Ice of Brunswick, Active Pest Control, Tempest Barbecue, of course, Fish Bites, Hook Apparel, Morningstar Marina. The list goes on and on and on. Sinker Guy, Bandit Custom Rods, Batson Enterprises, Finding Demo's back, Saltys Pompano Rigs, DS Custom Tackle, Florida Fishing Products. I mean, it goes on and on and on. Yeti, boat boards, Ninja Tackle. How about that? Matt Poole jumped in this year. Bull Bay Tackle, Triangle Sport, Bubba, and I've left out probably another 10 or 15 people. It is absolutely incredible, the names of these companies that actually believe in what we're doing, and they get to see the tangible results when I post our analytics. And I can talk to you a little bit about what we've accomplished in 2024 so far, and then maybe what we've done since we started doing this in 2021.
Yeah, go for it, man. You got it.
So far in 2024, we'll have had 9 camps. After the bull or the redfish camp the shark camp that we're doing next Saturday. It's going to be 9 camps for the year, and then we're going to do a huge Santa event with sponsored by Zebco. Zebco sent over 500 dock demons, and the kids are going to sit on Santa Claus's lap, and instead of a candy cane, every kid's going to get a dock demon. We did that last year at short notice, and it was a huge success. So that's kind of how we finish our years, with a big Santa event here local. So we're averaging about 9 camps a year now that we've gained stride. So we've had, and let me pull this up, since we started in 2021, we've had 29 camps. We've had 833 kids. The man hours, camps to date, we've put 142 hours in our camps. We've had 366 volunteers. This number, I just really, it means a lot to me, because we couldn't do it without these folks. We've had 1,919 volunteer hours logged. We've given 469 rod and reel combos to kids, 457 gift bags, 73 sand spikes, 245 miscellaneous giveaways of product, and 218 cast nets. And the total cost of these camps, the valuation of what was donated to the kids, just in the camps, not our external outreach and other things that we do to donate, has been $52,908.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I think we're trending in the right direction.
I think so. It's just, that goes to show right there about how much people believe in you and what you're doing, and seeing how the mission is real. That's huge, man. Congratulations.
Right. Oh, I appreciate that. And kind of one of my taglines with our tournament anglers is, it's one thing to donate to a cause that you believe in and know that money gets used and it goes to the greater good. But after one of our camps takes place, we post and we share and we tell you the numbers, how many kids, where we were at, what we did. And you can physically see your tournament dollars at work throughout the year. You can call me up and say, hey, how many rods have you given away this year? And I can give you the exact number. So there's a lot of other tournaments to fish, and there's a lot of other good ways to donate your time and your money. But if you want to physically see your money at work, we're pretty proud to say that we can show you those analytics. And come Saturday, when we do our next camp on St. Simon's Island, a surf fishing camp, there's going to be all kinds of awesome photos and videos and sponsor thank yous, just to show how important this tournament is to our foundation. Because without the tournament, these camps can't happen. There's no way that we can fund them. So it is the most important event for us of the year.
These camps, dude, I mean, after having experienced one here in our area, I mean, I believed in what you said. I totally did. And I was like, yeah, it's probably a great time. And all the pictures have always shown something positive. After experiencing one here, I can fully see how this has been such a positive influence in the industry with these kids, with these families, and you all are making it come to life. And that is, it's just so great. It really is. There's no BS with it, nothing else. It is friggin' phenomenal. And you guys are just knocking it out of the park constantly with these camps. And these kids, I mean, they're just going to remember that forever and pass it down to their family and pass it on. And, you know, 1 affects 2, 2 affects 4, 4 affects 8. It's just a great spread of the great things you do.
Well, Brian, you are the reason why the Pensacola camp was such a huge success, because there's no way for me to roll in, 6 hours away from home and have all that logistics completed. I mean, we gave away 55 surf rod and reel combos at the Pensacola camp, and the number of people that you had from your community to support us, and I'm going to list off a few of them, and you can fill in any gaps. I mean, we had Julian Brent from Real Coastal. We had Yakkin' with Jack, the Lawless Tide. We had Salty from Salty's Pompano Rigs. Coastal Worldwide was there. Who else was there? I mean,
Justin Reed was out there with us.
Justin Reed Fishing was there. It was amazing. When I rolled into Pensacola, I mean, fingers crossed, and I trust you, and I know that you got our back, and you nailed that thing, man. That location is phenomenal. That camp was really special for us because it was our first, what we call an export, and we're coming back. We're going to buy probably twice as many surf rods in the off season. And when we come back to Pensacola or Navarre, wherever we end up fishing with you, I imagine it's going to be more than 55 kids, and it's going to be another big one because your fishery is incredible. That camp was so much fun.
It was. And you're right. It is a quad burner, man. Especially that walk down the National Seashore. It's like, I can do this. It's solid here. It's solid. No, it's not. It's not solid here.
But just coming to a different area. And for me, it was funny because I read Dirty Water, getting education from the coaches you had there on reading the troughs and reading the different color changes in the water, and then listening to the coaches talk to the kids on fishing, which I'd like to think I know a little bit about, to fishing your area was like night and day. So I'm like taking notes and becoming a better angler, at our own camp. Because your fishery it's beautiful. Gosh, I don't understand why anybody would want to leave that area, wouldn't want to fish it all the time. I've been thinking about it a lot. We need to put our heads together and figure out when we're going to do this. It'll be March, April again, obviously, but thank you for doing that. That was our largest camp of the year, our largest fishing camp. We've had some larger cast net camps, which a whole different dynamic, but you were the largest camp of the year for us.
Oh, I left out Smitty. Damn it. Sorry, Mike. Love you, buddy.
Sorry, Mike. Yeah, you were there. How can we forget Smitty? You were wearing hot pink, man, looking good in the hot pink.
Oh, man. I'm like, I'm looking at him, I'm looking at him in my head and off to my left because I'm remembering the beach day. I'm like, Mike was there. Oh, Mike was there. Crap. So, yeah, him and the sun. Thank you for trusting me to do that. Really, I mean that. I know that was a leap of faith with that whole move, and I'm glad that we were able to get it set up the way we did. I'm very thankful for the coaches that were willing to be like, yeah, hey, I'm in 100%. And every coach has even said to me, he's like, if we do this again, you're going to let me know, right? I'm like, yeah, of course. Everything was great. Okay, good. I liked it. We're doing that. So it's like, okay, we're going to do this. But every family had something positive to say as they passed by. When they left for the day, the other ones were like, we're not leaving yet. We're going to stick around. It's like, well, you have a great day. I'm going to go have food. It's getting tiring time. But man, I have seen a few of those families because they follow the podcast or I follow them. They've been back out. They've been doing great things and have another good catches. So it was really great that you guys could put that start to them. Hell, I think there was 3 families that we talked to specifically that they hadn't fished and their kid wanted to get into it. And the camp was the opening of the door, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's always the big win, is when there's a family that doesn't have the background, I guess. And then next thing you know, they're a fishing family. Now we have several families that call or email and say that this is how they spend their weekends now, and they're using the gear that we provided. So at our surf rod or our surf camps this year, we went big and we bought the Daiwa Eliminator with 5,000 reels on them and put good braided line on there for the kids. I think next year what I'm going to do is this eliminator combo is great. It's actually probably better for these shark camps and for the bull reds. I think we're going to find some Pompano specific surf rods and be able to bring a rod and reel combo to target specifically the Pompano, because last year we did three big Pompano camps. So if I can get the right pricing on these things from these distributors, that's probably what you'll see us do. The eliminator, the dial has been great, but that's the one change moving forward in 2025. I think I want to focus on a combo that's really dialed in for the Pompano.
Nice. Yeah, that'll go great, man. And you're right, that eliminator series was nice. Real nice rod and reel setup. Man, I like that. Well, you guys have done all this, and I mean, I can say thank you until I'm blue in the face. I'm truly thankful for everything that you've done. The family, all the stuff that you've sacrificed, your dad, I've seen him on every one of them. Anytime we come out there, it's the entire family. It's not just you guys, it's everybody. And then the other people that are involved and locals in there, it's their families too. Everybody rallies around this. And you created this, and you and Caroline have been developing it, building it, and you and the team have all come together and made this what it is. Thank you. Thank you so much for doing this. And I truly mean that. You're really changing lives, man. You really are. And I'm so thankful to even be a part of it and just hang out with you and know you. So thank you. And please keep doing the amazing things you are. Don't change.
No, we won't. I appreciate that. And from a dad and an adult perspective, and I share this with my kids, is, when you're an older, adult, you really, I guess your focus isn't, I need to go make new friends this week. You kind of get your pocket of normal, your tight group of people. This fishing community and this Kids Can Fish thing has really brought some incredible people into our lives. And for me, if there's one thing that Kids Can Fish has brought value to my family, is that my kids have an understanding of what it means to give back in the world, and they're appreciative of that time that it takes to do that. So hopefully when I fast forward and my kids are in their 40s, they're going to have a good grasp and understanding of what it means to be a giver and give more than you receive and be charitable and provide, a positive outlook on this world for the people around them. And I think my kids got a pretty fair understanding of that now, which is something you can't put a price tag on.
Yeah, definitely. Well, with the tournament coming up in October, let's talk about the important thing. How do people get into this tournament? How do they register?
So the registration is going to be at www.kidscanfish.net. Click on the Running of the Bulls icon, and it'll take you into the registration. One of the bigger questions I'm getting is, what is a Calcutta? The Calcutta in this tournament is the redfish with the most spots on both sides, wins a side pot. So every year we've done the tournament, the Calcutta winner has not been the champion of the tournament, and sometimes the person didn't even place in the top 7. So that's what the Calcutta is. It's at kidscanfish.net for the registration, and we're going to have registration open all the way until October 11th. We'll do it the day before the tournament, and then we'll shut it down so we can crunch our numbers. And you're going to want to be part of the Running of the Bulls Charity Surf Redfish Facebook group, because that's where you're going to upload your video of your catch. And make sure, if you're registering for the tournament, if you don't have the Magnum bump board, that you purchase one on our website. We were fortunate to get a very, very good price on that through Rapala. You won't find it any cheaper on any other retailer, Amazon, or any of the other stores that sell them. We're selling those for $15 a piece, and they're going to be able to be picked up when you check in. So the tournament Facebook group is very important. The bump board is very important, and the registration will stay open till October 11th.
There you go, everybody. It's going to be good times. It really is. So, Tom, thanks for coming on, man. Thanks for getting us all set up here, getting us locked back in for the upcoming tournament, and look forward to seeing you in October.
Absolutely. Thank you, Brian, for everything you do, and more importantly, to everybody in Florida, to include the Panhandle and those in that Alabama side of the Panhandle. Thank you for supporting us. It's really the best way for us to say thank you is by bringing our camps to the Florida communities. And Brian, I'm looking forward to whether it's going to be late March or early April next year to come back to that Panhandle camp. So that's just a way for us to say thanks, to do a little travel and give it back.
I look forward to having you, man. It's going to be a really good one. We'll start planning that soon. Definitely
Sounds good.
soon.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man. All right, we'll talk soon. All right, everybody, there you go. I hope you've had a lot of fun here with this. We picked up some good knowledge. We got some cool things coming with the upcoming tournament. So don't forget to go take a look at that. Get registered. Come on out there. There's gonna be a lot of names popping in there. Just keep your eye on the group. Let's just go that way. Yeah, because then you're gonna start seeing some stuff, and the war between Salty and I will commence as soon as humanly possible. You've been listening to Finding Demo Surf Fishing. Thanks for sticking around. We'll see you next time. I'm out of here.